Right now, let's look into the AC Villa coaching saga. I mean, how do you lose an European coach even before you get to acquire them? What
Well,
really happened?
well, Paul, I wish I knew the answer. It's been one of those very complicated episodes because AC Villa are Uganda's most successful club with 17 titles. AC Villa have got arguably the country's biggest fan base. With all due respect to the other big clubs, Express Mkwanogo Banji, KCCA, and Vipers, who are the double champions,
Yeah.
AC Villa have got a legacy, they've got a tradition, they've got some kind of deep history, and they love to identify themselves as a club which, for all their years in the doldrums, they've been Salongo Jogo as a moniker they've tried to patent. The problem, though, is that what happened with Nemanja Milicic,
Yes.
the Serbian, is quite an episode which has obviously put them in a very, very murky light, because what happened is the Federation handle on X released the picture where they were unveiling him as Villa's next coach, which was also a bit curious,
Yes, yes.
because typically you'd want to think that the FIFA handle is going to be tweeting information mostly related with the Federation and events and developments in and around the Federation and the cranes and so forth. So for matters to do with AC Villa, you'd think that it's supposed to be the AC Villa handle tweeting any information regarding their current coach or the person who's been speculated to be the next coach. Now, in this instance, you had the FIFA handle tweeting that Sabia Nemanja Milicic is going to be the next coach. So 30 or so minutes later, then AC Villa also tweeted with a tweet of their own in which they seemed to release the cat out of the bag that Milicic was going to be the next coach.
Yeah.
Then, as we all were out there waiting to see the official information, the official communication coming in from the club's channels, then news filtered through that Nemanja Milicic had vanished to Europe. It's not the first time it's happening. It happened a couple of years ago. Before, I think that was in the era of Lawrence Mulindwa, when he was FIFA president. There was a gentleman called Tomislav Sivic. He was unveiled at FUFA officially. This wasn't even on social media. It was unveiled officially. And then when he traveled back, he never came back. So I do not know whether the person who brokered that contractual agreement, maybe when he got to Kampala, when he got to Mengo, he discovered that maybe one of the parties had reneged on their promises before he flew into Uganda. We shall never know. But Tomislav Sivic came, and then he left, and that's when FUFA eventually settled for Laszlo Zaba, the Hungarian. Now, obviously, AC Villa have been quiet. They haven't yet issued any statement to that effect.
Yeah.
I do know that Hajo Mar Mandela loves to do things in a certain way. He would not have been impressed by the manner in which this episode has panned out. And right now, we are speculating as to who will be the next AC Villa coach. Of course, Mole Bekwaso left the club, I think, by mutual consent. And there's been talk that Ibrahim Chile, the former AC Villa player, is going to hold in the interim as AC Villa managers this off-season. Ahead of the next season, of course, the club has got to make some reinforcements after a very poor season. They did a very shoddy job of trying to defend the championship they won in 2023-24. And then, we don't know what's happening. And until AC Villa communicate, what we do know for a fact is that Nemanja Milic left, and he's gone back. And we don't know if he's going to be coming back. Highly unlikely. And word on the grapevine is that he was unveiled before they had signed on the dotted line, and which is always trading separate ground, because if there was something binding, then
at least
AC Villa won't be holding the S's. So that is where AC Villa is, and we can only sit back and wait and monitor the developments at AC Villa Salongo Jogo.